Emily is joining us in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Emily, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hi, thank you for taking my call.
You bet. What's
It's
up?
a pleasure to be speaking to you. Well, I've been listening to your show for a while, and my husband has been pretty unhappy in his career for like the last 10 years, but he was always very reluctant to leave, and hashtag COVID happened. In October of last year, he was laid off, just due to he worked in the petroleum industry in quality control inspecting. And it was like devastating. And we picked ourselves up and we started job hunting and everything. And then in January, he found a new job and a completely new career doing home installation for an internet company. And it's just not his sweet spot. But I feel like the shock of getting laid off from a job he didn't really love to begin with is like kind of put him in, like paralyzed him to make another decision. And I'm like, listen, I don't want to see you miserable for like another 10 years. So like you already proved that you can be retrained. You've already proved that you can be in a new industry. So like take that as confidence to do the next thing. But I just feel like I can't say anything enough to like encouraging enough to like help him move to the next thing. And it's so hard to see him every morning kind of like miserable.
Yeah. Well,
and I don't know what to do.
Yeah, and I'm so glad you called. This is hard. This is really hard because you're in that spouse role where you love him, you care about his emotional health, his mental health, and he hears it, but he's not doing anything with it. And you've got to be careful because at some point, if he doesn't act on this, he starts to drown you out, correct?
Yeah.
And I wonder if that's already happened. What do you think? You think that's already happened? Or is he still kind of engaging with you and he's agreeing with you? When you talk to him about this, how's he reacting?
I do think I think he can see that it would be beneficial to move, but every time he goes or mentally goes to move, like, well, what would be my next step? I feel like the questions of what if and I don't know how to just overwhelm him. So like when he talks to me, I feel like he gets like pumped up because I'm like pumped for him and I know what I like to do. So for me, I can just visualize him in a job that he loves, but I just don't think he can visualize it for himself unless he's with me. And I'm like, how do I help him light the fire for himself?
Okay, so here's the tactic. Okay, the way to do this is he's getting fired up and confident when he's with you, but then when he walks away, he's left with the thoughts of, well, what would I do? Because I've never done anything that I've loved, pretty much is what it sounds like. And how would I get there? And then how long would that take? And how much would it cost? And oh my gosh, I got all of these unknowns.
Yes, everything.
Yeah, so here's the deal.
Yeah.
You are describing to him a faraway mountain that he can't even quite see very clearly. It's so far away and there's so much fog and giant clouds covering the top of the mountain. He knows the mountain's out there, but he has no idea where to start. That's how intimidating this is. You've nailed it. You're really on it. So here's what you have to do. You're going to have to get him in conversations that are way more detailed and far less pressure. So instead of, hey, you're miserable, I don't want to see you miserable, why would you do that? Go get a new job. I believe in you. I love you, babe. Right? That's what you're doing. And it's great.
Yeah.
But here's the deal. A couple more of those conversations and nothing happening, he's going to then begin to resent you or drown you out and go, well, she doesn't get it. So what we've got to do now is he's got to have real clear ideas. I think the problem is he's not sure what mountain to climb. If he knew what mountain to climb, and then he went, oh, that's the mountain to climb, how does one go about climbing that mountain? Well, I need a guide. I'm going to have to work out for 6 months to get in shape to be able to handle the climb. I need this equipment, and I know that it's going to take this much money for all the equipment, this much for the guide, and it's going to take this much time for all of that to come together. That's what he's missing. Because, see, the mountain can still be scary, but it's not overwhelmingly intimidating because I know that I can get up the mountain and I know how I'm going to get up the mountain. Make sense?
Yeah.
He doesn't know what mountain, or if he has an idea on the mountain, it's not been confirmed enough for him to go, oh, that's the mountain. So short of him calling me, which is really what I want you to do, I want you to talk to him and go, hey, will you call Ken? Will you call him and trust me on this, and you can change your name? We can change the location so nobody knows it's you, and walk through this with him. But here's what I would do. Absent him calling me, you got to walk him through the talent, passion, mission. I'd get the career clarity guide and I'd start there. And I'd say, hey, can we sit down and do this together? Let's look at what you do really, really well. And so this is all positive. It's all about making him feel like a rock star, because he is a rock star. What do you do best?
100%.
What are your top talents? What kind of work do you really love to do? I think you fill it out too and go, hey, you fill it out on your own. Let's fill it out separately. And then let's come together and look at our answers. Like, make it fun. Okay?
Yeah.
And then go, what results really matter to you? Because you've been listening to my show. He's probably never listened to me. So let's walk through this for a second. Let's have a little bit of extra time. We're going to do a speed round. You ready?
Okay.
All right. What if you had the career clarity guide in front of you and it was you and me and him at the kitchen table in your house? And I said, what's his name, by the way?
Jesse,
you're not allowed to talk. We're gonna let your wife Emily brag on you. And I'd say, Emily, what are his top talents? Hard skills, soft skills. What would you say?
He's diligent, he's detail-oriented, and he's consistent and reliable.
Okay, those are great qualities. I want a little bit more skill. So, for instance, those are good soft skills. So the fact that he's diligent and the fact that he's reliable, those are amazing character qualities. So I would definitely call that talent. It would be like a soft talent, if you will, a character quality. But beyond being detailed, give me a little bit more detail of where he's really, really talented, some skills that he has.
Well, he's kind of an introvert, so it's hard for me to nail that one down, but he loves detailed things. Like, he loves like wiring, he loves electronics, like he understands like electrical current, and he understands computer systems. Is that more of a hard skill?
Yeah. It absolutely is. He's very technical in nature, right? He's detailed, but he's also a good problem solver from a technical standpoint. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
So technical, he's got technical skills. That's a skill.
Yeah.
But he also can he fix things? Or is that what do you mean when you say wiring? Like he can look at a problem and go, this is where the problem is, and then he can fix it as well?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So he's really good at the technical troubleshooting. Would you say that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You see where you start to fill this out and you go, hey, I think these are your top talents. He's very detailed and organized. Is he also very gifted at analyzing things?
Yes.
Oh, now we're getting somewhere. Okay. So if I'm looking at the stuff, I'm building this assessment right now, I'd say he's got the talent of organization and logic because of the way he thinks. I'd also say he's got the talent of inspection. He can kind of look things over and go see where things are wrong, true or false.
Yes.
Yeah. And he's also got the talent of execution. He can actually follow through and fix it. So execution, inspection, organization, and logic. Now, the type of work he loves to do and under passion is we already know. We already know he likes the finishing, right? The finishing, which is kind of that's execution, solving, probably some planning and analyzing. That's the kind of work he really loves. True or false?
Yes, true.
I mean, this is totally making sense to you, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right. So now we look at what are the results that make him really excited. So we know the kind of what he's talented at. We know the kind of work he loves to do. So what's that driving result that makes him go, this was a good day? I contributed this result to the world. I would guess it's efficiency and solutions. Order and excellence.
Yeah.
Order and excellence. He's driven by efficiency. If he's contributing to efficiency, he's a happy man. If he's also creating solutions with problems and systems, something like that, because of that organizational nature, he wants things to work well. I think that's his purpose statement. So he's supposed to use his talents of logic and inspection and organization and execution to do the work of analyzing, finishing, solving, to create efficiency and solution. Now that's a high level purpose statement. But what comes out of that is he goes, oh, this is now the filter for any job description. When I read a job description, it needs to make sense within that purpose statement. If you could sit down and do that with him and he sees it and he goes, oh, so now he's not going to struggle finding stuff that would make him come alive. So because we just compare job descriptions. He's going to be in a technical, electrical kind of that world, right?
Yeah.
But something's missing with the installing the internet stuff. There's something missing. He wants more of a challenge. So once he figures that out, we go, oh, we know the what. And now we go, how do I get qualified for that? He's probably largely qualified, but there might be some certifications here and there. I don't think there's a college degree involved. Now he goes, oh, it's not that hard to get qualified. It's not that expensive. You see how we take the intimidation factor away?
Yeah, because it's like just walking through with steps rather than like leaps or like trying to look at the destination from the beginning.
Now, remind me his name.
Jesse.
Okay, Jesse. Jesse, look at me. You just listened to me and your wife unveil about you what I think you already know, but I think you needed this confidence shot. And the reason I'm talking to you, Jesse, is because Emily is live right now, but she's going to show this to you tonight when you get home from work because you're the second caller on the show and she can rewatch. She can go right to it and watch it on YouTube. And we just counseled you while you were working hard. And your wife loves you and your wife believes in you. And Jesse, you can actually get there. And Jesse, you can fix some of the things that maybe Emily and I didn't get right. You can even call me yourself if you'd like. But I think you got enough right now. And go back and watch it a second time. Take some notes. Pause. Because Jesse, you're afraid. And I get it. Jesse, you're doubting yourself. And I get it. You know why I get it, Jesse? Because I've been there before. I've been afraid that I didn't know how and I didn't know where to go in media and broadcasting because I started at the age of 33, Jesse, and I didn't have a degree in it. And I had 3 kids and a mortgage. And Jesse, I doubted that I had enough time to pull it off. I thought maybe I was too old. Thought maybe at times I didn't have the skill set to do it. But here I sit, Jesse, talking to you. Jesse, you can do this. Emily and I believe in you. So we just walked through a very simple process that creates a purpose statement for you, a professional purpose statement. So all you got to do is refine it, start to look for job descriptions that match this. And my friend, before you know it, you're going to be in your sweet spot. And for the first time in your life, using what you do best to do work you love, to produce results that matter deeply to you. And oh, by the way, providing very well for Emily and your family. So Jesse, I believe in you. All right, Emily, our work is done.
Thank you so much.
So you know what you got to do, right?
Yes, sir. I got to do some homework.
No, you just simply have to actually let him watch this phone call. That's what's beautiful about YouTube. We're live right now. Joe, it'll be posted right after the show, and you can go right to this point in the show and make him watch the call where we talk about him and where I talk to him. That's a game changer.